I'll start off this video by first discussing two pieces of advice I got by program directors that really changed the way I approach the entire match process. The first piece of advice I got was really more of a statement. I was talking to a program director and they were mentioning how strange it seemed to them that medical students would spend hours upon hours upon hours studying for step 1 and step 2 to try and get even a marginally higher score. And they would do all of this so they could get into a better residency. Because obviously the higher the step score, the more competitive they were as applicants. And the program director was pretty much just astonished that these people would spend all of these hours studying and studying and studying to get into a better residency, and they put so little effort into the match process itself. Many of these applicants hadn't even edited their personal statement several times, had grammatical mistakes, or when they showed up for interviews, it was very apparent that they hadn't practiced and they didn't have prepared answers to even the most basic interview questions. And the point I took was really, why do you spend all of these hours studying and studying and studying in medical school, and then studying and studying and studying for all these USMLE exams, just so you could be the best applicant on paper possible, to actually not spend even a fraction of that time when it comes down to the actual match process itself? It's really mind-boggling, but it is unfortunately what most students do. And the second piece of advice I got that really changed the way I thought about things was, the interview is a two-way street. When I first started practicing interviews with my friends and just practicing answering questions, I heard a lot of the word I. People would answer questions and they would pretty much only discuss themselves. And it's partly because most medical students haven't interviewed for a job or haven't done a professional interview in quite a while. And the main thing is the interview is actually a two-way street. While they are asking you questions and they want to know more about you, it also works the other way. You have to sell yourself to them as well. You have to show that you're the perfect fit for their program. So let's talk about a little bit about what research I did to make this course and essentially why I made this course in the first place at all. Initially, I started the website aslackersguide.com when I took a medical leave of absence from school. I'd torn my ACL and I tore my meniscus in my knee playing sports, and I took the time to learn how to program and learn how to set up a website. And this was after step 1, so into my third year, and I realized when I was studying for step 1, it was chaos. I really wished there was a place where I could look up somewhere and there would be more answers and there'd be more information. And that's essentially what I created at aslackersguide.com. And then I had a really similar feeling when I went into the whole match process, and I realized the lessons I picked up and a lot of the skills I've learned in other fields such as business and technology, a lot of my friends who were in medical school with me didn't necessarily have. And I initially began helping close friends, family, and a lot of the other students that were applying to the match at the same time I was. After that, it started spreading a little bit more. I started replying to emails from aslackersguide.com about anyone really asking for help. And I started helping friends of friends, and it became hundreds of students I was helping rather than just my close immediate friends. I also started surveying over 1,000 email subscribers at A Slacker's Guide to see what they wanted in a course and where they felt they could use more information. During this whole process, I started editing personal statements as well, and I ended up reviewing hundreds of personal statements. I realized there really was a lot of information that wasn't out there for people that they really, really could benefit from. And it could really turn a mediocre candidate into a good or stellar candidate. So I compiled feedbacks from hundreds of students, residents, past top applicants, people who've interviewed in the last little while, and program directors to put together the most comprehensive course I could possibly make. And that's pretty much why I put together this course. It's to make sure that after all of this hard work you've put in, you could get the residency you really deserve. In the next email, I'll talk more about the course and give you all of the details about exactly how it'll get you the residency you deserve.